With the purchase of EA by the Saudi Arabians, their last attempt not going all that well, and no news on a new Mass Effect game for about 3 years now, I do wonder what the future of Mass Effect will be, if it even has one. Likely it will be sold off to another dev along with Dragon Age if the new owners see no profitability in it, but right now that's all just speculation. It's N7 Day, a day to celebrate all that Mass Effect has done right, and to remember the story and characters that were influential to so many of us. I've been playing Mass Effect for roughly 13 years now. I started not long after the release of Mass Effect 3. I saw a parody music video by Screen Team and was curious as to what this actually was. I had heard of Mass Effect previously and wanted to know what it was all about, and thank the enkindlers I did. I was thinking about my first playthrough of Mass Effect a few months ago, how I wasn't able to talk Rex down on Virmire. I still saved Ashley because I found Kaidan boring, still do. I've romanced Miranda, as I didn't know romances were a thing in the first game. Garrus died in the suicide mission because I missed his own loyalty mission before hitting the Omega-4 relay, and I chose to control the Reapers the first time around. I had managed to save the Geth and Quarians, and EDI was a fun character that I didn't want to die. An interesting run where many things happen to someone still wondering about all of these choices and how they intermingle with each other. I didn't even think that the ending was all that terrible, as I had the extended cut already downloaded for it, and the ending makes much more sense if you employ the indoctrination theory, but that's not the topic of this video. The reason I bring up my first ever playthrough is because of the class that I chose. I was on a bit of a sniper hype at this time, not entirely sure why, but it might have been because of all the Battlefield 3 and COD quickscope montages, but I chose the Infiltrator my first time around. And with certain things going on in my life right now, I'm feeling very nostalgic, looking back to much simpler times, and that included my first run of Mass Effect. So I thought I'd run back to 2012, back to my 14-year-old self, and make an inspired challenge out of my first ever run. Can I make a decent YouTube video? Can I beat Mass Effect with only a sniper? Now, for Mass Effect 1, I'm fairly certain this is actually possible, but for the later games, and for those of you who are a bit more pedantic about these kinds of challenges, the short answer is no. Basically, there are segments that we will get to where I don't have access to a sniper in Mass Effects 2 and 3, so I'll need to either use other means to get by or take some kind of other action where it is genuinely impossible to proceed without a sniper rifle. But we'll get to that. Today is just about Mass Effect 1. So for those of you who are a bit peeved by bending the rules for specific run challenges, you can go. But for those of you who are left, thank you, and I hope you enjoy. Right, so to get started, obviously, we pick the Infiltrator class, not just due to the increase in sniper damage, but also additional abilities later on for Mass Effects 2 and 3 when we get to them. The backstory doesn't matter all that much, and I chose Barrier as the bonus ability for Mass Effect 1. I'm having flashbacks to my Insanity Krogan Battlemaster on Therum, and I just want to live. From the get-go, we have 3 upgrade points, and I invest them into Charm because I'm a moron and forgot that saving people in this run doesn't matter, so I don't need to actually impress anybody. Speeding through all the conversations gets us to Eden Prime. Jenkins Leroy's himself into the next cycle, and we can briefly talk about combat now. So, in Mass Effects 2 and 3, characters are locked to weapons that suit their role. But in Mass Effect 1, guns are free game, so I can try my best to keep everyone on the sniper, but they do all seem to switch of their own accord. I can only do so much. The first combat goes as you'd expect. I mean, it's literally just Geth drones. But then we save Ashley, she joins the team, and she will be invaluable for this run. Not only in the first game, but spoiler alert, her and Garrus tear enemies apart in Mass Effect 3. Opening all the crates throughout the level doesn't give me any kind of sniper upgrade, so we're stuck with the simple sniper for now. We clear the Geth, shut down bombs, open the last crate, and we have officially cleared Eden Prime with no new gun for me. What the hell, game? After that, nothing really happens until the assault on Chora's Den. Before the actual assault, we grab gaming's best bro and charge into a strip club to kill innocent bouncers and bartenders. Fist goes down if you can take down his 2 turrets, so it's pretty easy. Just stay out of the way until the turret stops shooting, then shoot back. Grab Mass Effect's best girl afterwards, and we finally become a Spectre. Before leaving on the Normandy, I bounced around to clear as many missions as I could and grab any kind of upgrades, levels, and money before carrying on to Therum, which includes the assassination ability. The main ability of Mass Effect for the Infiltrator. Big sniper damage and will be pretty pretty essential to get this challenge done. It maximizes accuracy of the next shot, and it can increase damage up to 225%. I also want a new sniper, and finally, after clearing all of the available side content currently available on the Citadel, I still didn't get one. Seriously, man, what are the odds? What are the odds that just give me a gun with a zoomy zoom on it? I had to end up buying myself one, only to discover that there was one in Shepard's locker the whole bloody time. I hate you, BioWare. Okay, now with all of that complete, let's go grab Liara, and we encounter a problem that we'll see quite a bit over the trilogy. Other weapons. Namely, for Mass Effect 1, it's our favourite amalgamation of metal and duct tape, the Mako. It has a machine gun that can go brrr and a big gun that goes boom. We can't use either, but I'm saying we can run enemies over. Look, okay, it's not my fault that the Geth keep getting in the way of a moving vehicle. They're trying to fake an insurance claim. I'm simply practicing my parallel parking and they somehow find themselves under my wheels. So because of this, Therum takes absolutely fucking ages. I didn't shoot anything after grabbing footage to speed things up either. I ran over every single Geth I could because clearly I'm just a masochist. We do eventually reach the first gate, guarded by multiple rocket turrets, so we get out and shoot them. I genuinely didn't think it would take this long. Carrying on further up the road leads us to a new Geth type, the Colossus. It can't be damaged by running it over, and getting out of the Mako to snipe it is just a pure no-go. A Colossus can one-shot the whole team, so we only have one choice. A little further up, another level up allows me to max out the sniper rifle skill tree, so now I can start investing into Spectre training and Infiltrator. Okay, this fight is probably the most infamous on Therum, probably more so than the Battlemaster at the end, and for a sniper-only build, this can be a bit dangerous. The armature over at the other end isn't actually the issue, as there's plenty of cover. But these stalkers are a piss take. Those combined with getting flanked by some shock troopers, my balls were in my mouth, let's just say that. It got close, and a last second barrier pop saved my bacon. After the shocks and stalkers are taken down, the actual armature is easy to evade, and the final two troopers are nothing special. Grabbing Liara means we have unlimited access to the Blue Man Group on Spotify, and Assassination proves to be a busted ability, making light work of the Krogan, and we bring Therum to a close. Still without a goddamn new sniper rifle from a crate. At this point with Liara on the team, I'd normally bounce about and land on a load of different planets and do all the standard Mass Effect hoopla. But without the use of the Mako's guns and cannon, things like Thresher Maws are a bit out of my ability to tackle. So I guess we move right on to Feros. First combat's a standard affair. I brought a new sniper because this game still hates me and refuses to give me one in a crate.
Ah, my knee! My knee! Why?
Before crossing the Skyway, I cleared the side missions that were provided to you in Zeus Hope, including turning on some water pumps, killing Varen, and facing 4 Krogan alone. I don't know what's wrong with Mass Effect 1's AI pathfinding, but Garrus and Ashley got stuck somewhere. The first Krogan goes down easily enough, like back in Cora's den, but then there's 2 together and another hanging back by a tower that needs to be destroyed. Doing this actually allowed me to abuse the shoddy AI pathfinding I was just talking about. If you run back out the way you came, the Krogans don't seem to know what to do, so like a horny teen on prom night, I go back in and shot my load. Afterwards, I returned all the quests, proceeded to the Skyway, and met the male Karen before proceeding to Exogeny headquarters. Okay, right, let's try reversing around corners this time. After leaving the Mako, if you go through a side door, then there's an armature just waiting for you. If you interfere with anything in this room, it will gun after you. If I want anything in here, I'll need to take this on face to face. No help from anything or Yeah, turns out if you just run out the door like I did with the Krogan, it just doesn't know what to do. Honestly, that's the first part of Feros in a nutshell. There's plenty of cover to hide behind, Assassination is still proving to be a very useful ability, and even with Garrus and Ashley not doing anything, all the Geth segments were easily dealt with. I actually don't know what happened here because my teammates just never moved, even after trying to summon them on the D-pad. So I saved, loaded back in, and that seemed to fix whatever kind of issue was plaguing this part of the playthrough, And luckily too, because I was about to enter the segment that still haunts my thoughts whenever I contemplate playing on Insanity again. The Thorian. Just before getting there though, I did save all the colonists with the Thorian gas. It deals no combat damage, so I'm allowing it. To make it as fair as possible though, those that I could take out via melee, I did. The actual Thorian husks themselves weren't too much of an issue, but these Asari commandos have biotics and shotguns, meaning they can be very unpleasant to deal with. In case the whole premise of this video hasn't made it obvious in any single way, I only have a sniper. A sniper at shotgun range sucks all 4 of a Krogan's testicles. Luckily though, aside from a creeper getting in the way of an assassination shot and me with my dumbass brain charging a commando, we actually got through the whole of Theros deathless. Now, from here, I was thinking about if there was actually anything further I could take care of before proceeding to Noveria. I did Garrus's and Rex's quote-unquote loyalty missions off camera. The only one that can't be completed is Tally's. At least one of the bases spawns in a Colossus, and as we know, a Colossus can't be damaged by just doing my driving test. But then I remembered something else. While choosing which other skill trees to invest into, I noticed that half of one was locked, and it's unlocked by completing the Rogue AI on Luna, a mission that can actually be done without using the Mako. I can use it for traversal, but those turrets are no different than the ones on Theron. To get by the rocket towers, I was hiding behind the Mako for cover, and while ducking in and out, it started smoking with sparks and fire.
God damn it.
I don't know if the Mako can blow up without you actually being inside of it, but I'm not risking it. Luckily, the missiles don't move that quickly, so combining barrier and some strafing maneuvers, I can take out all 3 stations' missile turrets. I did get tags, but barrier kept me moving, and the more turrets you take out, the easier it is to evade. The first facility was the trickiest. The drones were further spread out and actually moved into attack. The second station had a few drones just staying stationary, which made it easier to take out, and the shields that pop up in the third station made it so they just all funnel into one line, so it just made it easy pickings. Sorry, Edie. But now, Infiltrator is upgraded. The Operator class does nothing for me as I can't use tech skills, but Commando increases damage for snipers and my assassination ability, so gimme. Noveria is the mission in Mass Effect that I like the most. It really leans fully into the horror atmosphere with introducing the Rachni and the ambient music and goes full on Lovecraftian. It's awesome. Out of principle, Liara joins me for this mission. She isn't great for this challenge, but fuck it, I'm curious how I'll do otherwise. Nothing really happened on the way to Benezia. I drove past all the Geth. Kinda. Right, Benezia herself wasn't awful, but I needed to reset. I don't know what actually happened, but my teammates just started covering and shooting at the floor. I reloaded and it fixed whatever issue happened, but I think maybe Liara popped a singularity and it rendered an enemy prone under the map? Well, Benezia helps us, but eventually in the end, indoctrination kicks back in. Thankfully though, she's allergic to bullets. And the last thing to do is to activate the neutron purge. Run, 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 run! Right, Noveria done. Fuck the council. Off to Virmire. Employ the same tactic as Noveria. Just drive past everything and nothing can possibly kill me. I said, just drive past everything and nothing can possibly kill me. Well, we make it through, talk Rex down and send Ashley with Kirrahe. The actual clearing of the base is pretty straightforward, including doing all of the things to save Kirrahe and his team. We eventually meet Sovereign and he spouts some usual mumbo jumbo about causing more damage to the world than Greta Thunberg. We get Kaidan to set the bomb, go to help Ashley, and leave Kaidan to die because he's still boring. Getting to the top of the tower and clearing the Geth nearly ended in disaster as I got bum rushed by Seren and Geth, but we squeaked by in the end, save Ashley, and bomb goes back to the Citadel. We get screwed by the Council and head off to Ilos after Adina gets clarted. Having spent all game dealing with Geth and there not really being much variety anymore, they just send in a couple more heavy hitters. Opening the door on Ilos is simple. We speak with Vigil and dash through the Mako section to the mass relay. This Citadel section is an awesome set piece. Geth and Krogan charging are no match for assassination at this point, combined with a ridiculously overpowered sniper, and we very quickly get to Saren. Having a lot of Paragon points, we can convince Saren to self-delete, but showing that will get my YouTube video cancelled.
Thank you.
This time I decided to fuck the Council. I normally save them because war assets, but no, burn the freaks.
He's dead.
Garrus, you lied to me! The final fight with this Saren Reaper thing is more annoying than tricky. He bounces all over the shop like a stalker and has shock trooper reinforcements. I do nearly die multiple times, but even with this Spider-Man wannabe switching faster than my ex, which sucks for a sniper-only build, we can clear him and Sovereign out, bringing Mass Effect 1 to a close and proving that, yes, you can beat Mass Effect with only a sniper. I knew going into this challenge that Mass Effect 1 would probably be the easiest of the trilogy. Some of the guns get absurdly powerful very quickly. No ammo limits pretty much mean you can shoot with reckless abandon, and with the later gun cooldown rates, most encounters are done before you even reach the need for it to cool down in the first place. I'm interested to see how ammo limits will affect the challenge and what kind of strats I'll need to use, like the cloak ability, which will be mine for the Infiltrator class in Mass Effects 2 and 3, but we'll get to that soon. I'll see you in a couple of weeks to see if we can beat the rest of the trilogy with only a sniper. Peace!